Good evening. I would like to welcome you all to the Southwestern School Board Planning Meeting on October 8th. It is 6:35 p.m. and I am calling this meeting to order. Prior to this meeting, we did have the need for an executive session. During that executive session, the board discussed student matters. Directly following the adjournment of this meeting, the board will go back into executive session to discuss personnel matters. At this time, would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Furman, when you're ready, roll call, please.
Mrs. Bauer?
Here.
Mr. Beard?
Here.
Mrs. Brennan?
Here.
Mr. Galazello?
Here.
Mr. Gelsinger? Mr. Leidy? Mr. Plessick?
Here.
Mr. Smith?
Here.
Mrs. Weaver?
Here.
7 present, 2 absent.
Thank you very much. The 2 members in attendance, or not in attendance this evening, did let me know in advance that they would not be in attendance, and we do have 1 member, as you can hear, who has called in virtually. Okay. Number 5, additions, deletions, or modifications to the agenda? None? Okay. Number 6, recognition of visitors. Good evening to everyone that signed in. Thank you very much. Your names will be recorded for the meeting minutes. You will have 2 opportunities to speak at our board meeting. The first is on agenda-related items only. The second public comment section would be for any items that you feel is important for the school board to know. And if you are here for a special presentation, we will get to you shortly. So thank you again for being in attendance this evening. And that actually brings us to number 7, Emory H. Markle Middle School report. Dr. Winters.
Good evening. So I have some 6th grade friends that are going to speak momentarily, and I do ask before you guys speak, just say your name and maybe what team you're on so everybody can hear. We were able to go to Millersville and do the ropes course. Thank you to the board for approving that. Before I turn it over to the students, I do have an email from Mrs. Mowry and Mrs. Lover, who spent the day today at Shanks Mare on the other 6th grade trip that we do. So they've had a pretty hectic day, so I told them I would share for them. Dear school board, thank you for supporting and allowing our students to participate in the Millersville University's Low Ropes Cooperation course. This experience provided an incredible opportunity for students to develop essential life skills such as teamwork, cooperation, leadership, and communication in a hands-on, engaging environment. Your continued commitment to empowering and enriching student learning beyond the classroom is greatly appreciated. This has made a lasting impact on those who took part. Opportunities like this help build confident, capable learners who are better prepared for future challenges. Thank you, Mrs. Sarah Mowry and Mrs. Kelly Lover. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to some of our students who would like to go first. Ms. Orndorff?
I think the field trip was really fun, but I think a lot of people were thinking that it was going to be more involving like physical activities and not as much teamwork stuff. But I think it was really nice to work with the other team. I'm on team 1, and I think it was nice getting to work with the people on the other team, and it definitely helped with teamwork a lot. But I feel like it would be better if there was more like physical challenges and less of teamwork challenges, but it was still really fun. And I think it was a good field trip to go on.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Annika Singh, and I'm a 6th grader at EHMS. I'm on Team 1. I attended the Millersville Ropes Course field trip, and I'm pleased to talk to you all about it. The ropes course at Millersville is a great way for students to learn outside the classroom. It challenges people to work together, communicate, and trust each other to reach a goal. The activities on the course require teamwork and problem solving, which helps students build critical thinking skills in a fun and active way. At the ropes course, my team helped each other along the way and had lots of fun. Most of us made new friends, and all of us shared experiences with people we have never met before. It was a great opportunity to be there, and it was a great learning experience for all of us. As a summary, the ropes course teaches valuable lessons about leadership, cooperation, and thinking under pressure, all skills that help students succeed both in school and life. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Kaye. I liked Millersville. It was fun. I liked how we had to use teamwork to do challenges, and some of them were hard, like the ones where you had to remember the path and like your teamwork. I mean, your members in your team would help you, and our team too.
Thank you.
My name is Cooper Mathis, and I'm on Team 1. The Millersville University trip was a great way to spend your money on us. It was fun, and it was fun to cooperate with our teammates, and it helped us learn teamwork, cooperation, and communication.
Hello, parents, guardians, teachers, and members of the board. My name is James Graham. I am a Team 1 sixth grader at the Emerly H. Markle Middle School in Mrs. Mowry's Social Studies class. I am here to talk to you about our experiences and lessons learned during the Millersville University Ropes course field trip. It was the first time the HMMS was able to have this field trip. There, we participated in activities to improve our teamwork and communication skills. One of our favorite activities was balancing on a curved boat that laid on one wooden plank. The instructor joked that we had gotten the boat off of Timu for our boat trip down the Amazon River, and we had to make sure we didn't fall out of the boat. Another activity was set up like we were trying to break into a museum. Strings with bells were set up to represent security system lasers that we had to avoid. We had about 15 kids with arms linked together to get through it, and some of us were blindfolded. Another fun activity was set up like we were stranded on an island in the middle of the ocean. We were given 2 smaller pieces of driftwood to use to get everyone from one island over to the other 2 islands. The Millersville University ropes course provided us a chance to find and use our communication and teamwork skills. We learned that teamwork really does make the dream work. We also learned that singing a childhood song is always fun. In conclusion, I, as well as many others, had a lot of fun on this field trip. I completely recommend this as a field trip for future sixth graders, and we thank everyone who made this field trip possible. And I thank you for taking time out of your meeting to let me give this speech. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give the sixth graders a round of applause. That was wonderful. I'm kind of jealous that we didn't get invited to go with you. Although I don't know if I would have vouched for the Timu boat. That seems a little sketchy. But no, thank you guys so much. You know, when we make these decisions, it's one thing to see them on paper. It's another thing to see the value through your eyes, because as adults, our job is to allocate the money, but as children, your job is to learn from the experiences. And those are 2 very different goals. So thank you very much for coming tonight and telling us what your favorite parts of the trip were and how we can grow. I think that's important too. Any other board members?
Thank you for looking this up and providing this to the kids. I think the takeaway is it was a lot of fun. And again, I want to thank the kids for sharing what it was like, because we don't get to see a lot of the personal takeaways that you all have from it. So thank you for being brave enough to come up here and talk to us.
Are your teachers giving you extra credit for coming tonight? Dr. Winters, you better get on that. There's some lollipops in these kids' future or something. No, thank you very, very much. Sixth graders and their families, if you would like to head home, we do have quite a meeting in front of us. You are welcome to stay and learn all about the school board, or you are welcome to go home and absolutely read your 80 minutes and get a good night's sleep. That was wonderful. Okay, this brings us to section 8, hearing of persons who wish to address the board. I do have 2 that have signed in to speak, but not on agenda-based items. Are there any is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak on an agenda-based item under this first public comment section? Seeing no one coming towards the microphone, we will continue. This brings us to number 9, matters for which board action is required. Personnel Committee, letter A, Mr. Smith.
Thank you, Mrs. Weaver. I'm making a motion to approve section 9A, 1 and 2.
Second.
I have a motion for 9A, 1 and 2 from Mr. Smith and a second from Mr. Plessick. Roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Bauer,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mrs. Brennan,
Yes.
Mr. Gillizello,
Yes.
Mr. Plessick,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mrs. Weaver.
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no.
Resignations will be noted in the minutes, and I just wanted to make a note of Tony Meckley, not Todd Meckley, that's what I thought it was at first, but Tony Meckley, retirement after 32 years of teaching. So congratulations to him. That's awesome. And I also wanted to note on the substitute list, we have Mrs. Marvin coming back to help substitute. All of my kids loved her, so, you know, the older ones at least. So,
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Smith. Under B, Finance and Support Services Committee, there is no report, so with your permission, I'll move forward.
Please do.
Excellent. C, Program Committee, Mr. Beard, due to the potential of microphone not working correctly, Mr. Gillizello, would you please take this
Certainly.
section?
So I'd like to make a recommendation to approve the revised 25-26 occupational therapy service agreement between Katie McMinn and Southwest School District, beginning August 12th, 2025, ending June 30th, 2026, at a rate of $84.92 an hour for each hour of contract instruction therapy, not to exceed 1,050 hours per year without approval, and $95.25 per initial evaluation.
Second.
I have a motion for 9C1 from Mr. Gillizello, a second from Ms. Bauer. Any questions?
I have a question about this. I know there's a big swing in costs of things. So I'm kind of curious where the cost fits compared to average in the community, in the county and things like that.
I was gonna say, I don't recall looking at the revised agreement, but as to cost, that's a pretty comparable rate for services around in this area that I know of.
Because I've seen anywhere from,
From like 55 to
yeah,
like
like
105.
45 or 50 the whole way up.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
wherever.
So that's why, from what I'm seeing on the motion, that's a pretty average kind of rate. for
Oh,
this
okay.
area.
I just wanted to clarify that.
Yep, absolutely.
Because there is quite a range there.
Mhm.
So we're like right in the middle there. So it's hard to say.
So likewise, I looked at this and from what I found, the nominal York, PA market, it's anywhere from 42 to 59 an hour. But that doesn't include healthcare, which would add about 15% more, plus some other incidentals. I would like to ask, put Mr. Furman on the spot. How do we determine the pay increases on these as they go?
I will look to Dr. Schmale, or, because I wasn't involved. in
Okay,
this. That
fair
was-
enough. Then I'll redirect to Dr. Smale, if you would. Sorry, I wasn't able to ask this earlier prior to the meeting, and you're, you know, on the fly. Can you tell us how we come to this increase in pay?
So the increase was approved by Dr. Burkhart through discussion with Ms. McMinn. The reason this is up here again, so I will share, the initial evaluation amount was incorrect. When it was updated, it was updated from the contract 2 years ago, so it was lower than it should have been. So that's why it was just on. You probably were like, why is this on here again?
Mhm.
It was just on at the last meeting, so we apologize for that. So it is essentially a negotiated between Dr. Burkhart and Ms. McMinn. So I took under his advisement, I made the adjustment. It was a 2.75% increase.
So you were saying that the increase in the price was for the evaluation. That I would imagine being a higher rate, because I think there's a difference per hour of services versus an evaluation hour. And that's where I think that evaluation of 95 for an initial evaluation, I think that's actually a good deal. But for services, they do range anywhere from like I said, 55 to like 105 in this area, depending on the services.
So as a follow-up, first off, Dr. Dalton, is it not appropriate to discuss the percentage increases every year because this is a personnel or?
They're contractual, they're a contracted person.
So we can discuss,
Correct,
okay. I
yep,
wanted to
mhm,
make sure I wasn't violating.
absolutely,
Okay.
yep.
In my looking back through the minutes, 22 to 23 to 23, 24, we increased 7%, and then 24 to 25, we increased another 5.8%. So we've increased, averaging that out about 6.5% the last 2 years. And we increased again in 22, 23. So I guess we're increasing at a rate that I question whether it's nominal for the market or not. And I don't know how we're arriving at the figures. And so part of me wants to, and I'll ask the board, should we look into how we're arriving at our rates and maybe a negotiation committee and table, or do you more inclined to just move forward and then ask for more clarity when we get these items? Because I think it behooves us to look at the increases every year to see how we're arriving at those increases.
The only thing I'm going to point out is that a lot of the rate increases are due to supply and demand, right? We are experiencing a decrease, like I think I would imagine that I think an OT would normally be employed by the district, right? And because of the struggle in doing so, we are reaching for contractual services.
Right. And
so I think the market is dictating that. And I hear what you're saying. So I don't know.
And that's why I
yeah.
started, in looking at this, I started, what is the nominal rate in the York, PA? And I got anywhere from 42 to 59 is the nominal rate. But I don't know well enough to know. And that's kind of why I wanted to get our methodology for what we're arriving at our rates
Dr.
at.
Smale, would you tell us one more time, please, what is the exact change from the last time this same contract was approved to what is on the agenda for tonight?
Both of the rates, the hourly rate and the evaluation rate, were a 2.75 increase.
So-
Okay. So the 2.75 increase is the change
Correct.
from the last time that this was approved until
Yes,
today.
correct.
And the reason, again, just to clarify for everyone around the table, why is it that we needed to make that change? What was the error?
The error was the initial evaluation, the 95.25 was not the correct amount.
Okay.
It was mistakenly taken from the contract 2 years ago, so it wasn't the.
So the 84.92 was correct in both of those. So it is really the evaluation rate of 95.25.
Right.
That is a 2.75% increase
Correct.
from what was previously approved.
That's correct.
Okay. So just making sure everybody's aware that that's really what we're looking at. It's that part of the contract. And to Dr. Dalton's point, it sounds like that is a pretty marketable, comparable rate.
Which seems, point of clarification, more reasonable than the 6.5 that you were.
Well,
indicating.
I'm speaking to the, not necessarily initial valuation, I'm speaking to, in looking at this in 22, the hourly rate for not the initial evaluation was $74.92. In 23, it was $80.25 an hour. And now this year, along with the increase in the initial evaluation, we're now increasing from $80.25 in 2023-24 to $84.92 an hour in 25-26. And that's really the question I'm having is why the increase in the base rate at another 5.8% from last year? I understand the initial evaluation increase.
Sure, absolutely. And since this is a contracted service, I don't really know how they negotiate. And I think Dr. Smale said that maybe Dr. Burkhart was negotiating with Ms. McMinn.
Mhm.
I'm not sure how that negotiation has happened. My guess is that there was a contract that was provided by her that we're bringing forward to you from that. How the figure came up, I can't speak to, obviously. And I understand what you're really asking about. Why have we gotten to that rate over the last 3 or 4 years? Seems
And
like
that-
a
and that's why
much
I'm-
higher percentage.
And thank you for that. And that's exactly why I'm considering possibly tabling to a negotiation so that we could get those clarifiers. But that being said, if we determine this to be the rate we want to go forward to, does that retroactively still pay? Like, I don't want someone to be.
Sure. I'm actually going to ask Dr. Smale another question then. When this contract was approved,
It-
it
I
was
have it.
approved.
Yeah, it was approved at an 84.92 rate hourly. The
Right,
first time.
so when that was approved, these services are in place now then, I'm guessing, because the
Yes, that's
contract
correct.
has already been enacted.
That's correct.
That's
Yeah.
an important clarification. So we already approved
Yeah.
the
We did.
84.
Yeah, so at the
92 per hour.
The 84.92 was approved.
September 24th meeting.
And Ms. McMinn reached out to me and she said,
Okay.
she shared that she thought that the rate for the initial evaluation was
Okay.
not correct. So when I
I
went back and
understand your
double
intent now.
checked,
Yes.
what happened was I had multiple contracts in front of me and it just happened to be a mistake on our end.
I understand now. Yeah, seeing as the board already priorly approved the rate, I would ask moving forward.
Sure.
Especially when we get into a negotiation with employees, if we're going to discuss that, maybe just conferring with the negotiations chair to say, hey, we're in negotiations for a rate and further clarify how we're getting there.
Right, absolutely. I think that, like I said, it's a contracted service, and I feel like it has been something that has come up for many years, as you've sort of pointed out. But we can absolutely talk about what happens when those contracts come in at the rate and how that comes to you with some
Okay.
more explanation.
Appreciate that. Didn't mean to extend.
No, you're fine.
Thank you,
Questions
Dr.
are good
Snow.
questions.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mrs. Brennan,
Yes.
Mr. Gilazella,
Yes.
Mr. Plessick,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mrs. Bauer,
Yes.
Mrs. Weaver.
Yes,
7 yes, 0 no.
thank you. On to 9D, Buildings, Grounds, and Equipment Committee, Mr. Plessick.
Thank you, Mrs. Weaver. Does anybody need these broken out? Okay, I'd like to make a recommendation for 9D, items 1 and 2.
Second.
I have a recommendation for 9D 1 and 2 from Mr. Plessick and a second from Mr. Smith. Any questions in regards to these items? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Mrs. Brennan,
Yes.
Mr. Gilazella,
Yes.
Mr. Plessick,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mrs. Bauer,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mrs. Weaver,
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no.
9E, Student and Community Relations Committee, Mr. Leidy. In Mr. Leidy's absence, Ms. Bauer, would you take these, please?
Sure, not a problem. I'll split these up. I'd like to make a motion to approve 9E1,
Second.
which is a recommendation to approve an expulsion discussed in executive session.
I have a recommendation for 91 from Mrs. Bauer and a second from Mr. Smith. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Gilazella,
Yes.
Mr. Plessick,
No.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mrs. Bauer,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mrs. Brennan,
Yes.
Mrs. Weaver.
Yes.
6 yes, 1 no.
And I'd like to make a second recommendation, a motion on 9E2, which is the second recommendation for proposed expulsion based on discussion in executive session.
Second.
I have a recommendation for 9E2 from Ms. Bauer, a second from Mr. Smith. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Plessick,
Yes.
Mr. Smith,
Yes.
Mrs. Bauer,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mrs. Brennan,
Yes.
Mr. Gelazella,
Yes.
Mrs. Weaver.
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no.
Thank you, sir. 9F, Policy Committee, Mr. Gelazella.
Thank you, Ms. Weaver. I have nothing on the current agenda other than to advise, I did get revisions to policies 321 and 807 suggested to me. I'll be bringing those forward for the full board to review. I did consult with the committee members of the policy committee. They all like the revisions, so we're not going to carry them to policy committee. We're going to bring them straight to the board.
Okay, thank you, sir. 9G, Mental Health and Wellness Committee, Ms. Brennan.
Thank you. I have no official report, but I did want to bring some awareness to some things nationally that the month of October does bring. Most of you may know, but if you don't, just to bring some awareness in the mental health field. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So if you have purple or purple ribbon or purple flag or whatever you want to use, that would be the color for the Domestic Violence Awareness Month. October is also ADHD Awareness and Bullying Prevention Month. So orange would be the color for that. And October is also Mental Illness Awareness Week is this week. Just the first week of October, and that is green. And then October 10th is National Depression and Mental Health Screening Month Day. Kidding. The month of October is National Depression and Mental Health Screening Month, which is green. And October 10th is World Mental Health Day. Mental Health Awareness Month is actually May, so it gets very confused. Everyone gets very confused, but there's certain weeks and days and stuff. So I just wanted to bring some awareness to that.
Thank you. A lot of colors.
Yes.
Negotiations Committee, Mr. Gelsinger, he did not present anything to me prior to the meeting, so we will tag up with him later in October. Safety Committee, Mr. Gelazella.
No report.
Thank you, sir. Other matters for board consideration and/or action. Does anyone have anything this evening? Okay. Proposed October 22nd, 2025 agenda items. Note made for the two policies. We will make sure that those are on the agenda. Any other items? Okay, then we would assume it would be a regular meeting. At our regular meeting, they will be the typical items that we will see. And we're also back to our administrators providing their reports, which I know they're super excited about. So I look forward to reading all of those. Okay, this brings us to 11, planning and discussion. Do any members have anything that they would like for planning and discussion? Okay, this brings us to our second visitor section, number 12. I have two visitors that have signed in to speak. First, in no particular order, Miss Denise Bunty.
Denise Bunty, Penn Township. And as always, I want to pray for all of you and then for the school. So dear Lord, as we go through this year, may the board members and administration ask for your wisdom. Lord, keep every school district safe from evil. We praise President Trump for wanting to put prayer back into school. Lord, may the Democrats agree to open up the government and that we can get a budget for our state. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, ma'am. Mr. Stephen Carr.
Stephen Carr, Mainham Township. For those of you that heard me go, that wasn't a shock, I was kind of shocked to hear that Miss Marvin came back after she just retired. So I've known her for a long time. And I just also want to lift up Tony Meckley as well, because I also have known him since I was in college and high school. He was a good friend and good teacher as well. So I'm excited that he got to retire after 32 years, and actually in shock that Miss Marvin came back. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Are there any other persons in the audience that wish to address the board this evening on any items that you feel pertinent to the school board? Okay, seeing no one rising. This brings us to number 13 for the good of the order. Anybody have anything this evening?
Ms. Weaver,
Oh, yes, sir.
I have just one brief comment.
Yes, sir.
I was
listening intently to the discussion about occupational therapy pricing. I know that our public school districts operate under different procurement rules than what I did in federal acquisition. However, one of the basic components in federal acquisition before awarding any contract is performing a price reasonableness determination and actually documenting that. So I'll talk with Mr. Furman about how we do that or how it might be different in public schools. Ultimately, in any situation when we're buying something, whether it be a supply or a service, we should be doing our diligence in order to ensure that the price that we're paying is fair and reasonable. And that doesn't necessarily mean the lowest possible price we could get, but something that's fair and reasonable. And so I'll talk with Mr. Furman so I can better understand the public school rules and see if there's anything that we maybe could do a bit differently. So when these actions come to the board, that we know and understand that the right diligence has been applied and documented. Because what can happen over time when you contract with someone and then you keep renewing year after year after year, and I'm not suggesting that this is what occurred in this case, but what can sometimes happen is the pricing can inflate year over year a little bit more than inflation, and after about 10 years of that, there can be a large gap. That's likely not what occurred here, but I'll talk with Mr. Furman in the near future about what procedures we have in place to ensure that our pricing is fair and reasonable.
Okay, that
Thank
sounds
you.
great. Thank you. Okay. Hearing nothing else, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
I have a motion to adjourn the meeting from Mr. Smith. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Meeting adjourned at 7:07. As earlier said, the board will be returning into executive session at this time now that the meeting is adjourned. So respectfully,